You would think Murlocs weren't fluent in trash talk. Wetlands, human paladin and dwarf hunter. Paladin, did that Murloc just call me a noob? Hunter, sounded like glug glug get good. Paladin, he threw a fish at my face. Hunter, that's how they say hello. Paladin, I think it was still flopping. Hunter, respect, that's a fresh insult. Paladin, what kind of species taunts with seafood? Hunter, you would think plate armor blocked shade. Caption at end, Murlocs, fluent in gurgle-based humiliation. You would think portals came with warnings, mage tower, gnome, mage, and orc warrior. Warrior, where does this portal go? Mage, I think maybe Shatrath? Warrior, why does it smell like burning? Mage, might be the Firelands. Warrior, bro. Mage, it's a surprise teleport, adds drama. Warrior, I'm in lava. Mage, you would think arcane magic came with labels. Caption at end, next stop, regret. You would think Pandaren didn't rage over noodles. Storm Stout Brewery, Pandaren Monk and Draenei Shaman. Monk, they stole my noodles. Shaman, they, what now? Monk, right off the plate, with chopsticks. Shaman, was it alliance? Monk, worse. Goblins. Shaman, stay calm, breathe. Monk, I am calm. This is focused fury. Shaman, you would think enlightenment came with appetite control. Caption at end, do not stand between a Pandaren and carbs. You would think undead didn't have bodily functions. Kirithful Glades, undead warlock and Tauren druid. Warlock, hey, weird question. Druid, oh no. Warlock, do undead, he? Druid, what? No. Warlock, then what's this dripping from my leg? Druid, bro. Warlock, I think my shadow fiend leaked. Druid, you would think the dead came with a user manual. Caption at end, necromancy, now with mystery fluids. You would think hunters had a pet license. Barons, troll hunter, and undead rogue. Rogue, your pet just bit me. Hunter, he's in his feral era. Rogue, he's also on fire. Hunter, I gave him a flame enchant for flavor. Rogue, he ate my dagger. Hunter, he's a fan of sharp cuisine. Rogue, you would think beast taming required a brain cell. Caption at end, unleash the beast, and pray it listens. You would think, after decades of raiding, grinding, and wiping on basic mechanics, we'd be better. But no. Let's recap. We got Murlocs out here, roasting plate wearers with fish-based slurs. Literal aquatic gremlins running a stand-up show in wetlands. A mage tossed a warrior through a mystery portal like it was a loot box. And surprise, he landed directly in hell. Great value, 0 refunds. Meanwhile, a Pandaren monk committed war crimes over ramen. Inner peace? Never heard of her. He's throwing roundhouse kicks over noodles. An undead warlock casually asks if corpses can still pee. Nobody answers. The druid logs out mid-raid. Respect. Hunter pets, one's flaming, one's biting strangers, one ate a dagger and winked. This isn't a pet, it's a lawsuit on legs. Druids forgot if they're cats, birds, or bears. Warriors taunt and then flee. And goblin flight masters? Certified air traffic menaces. You wanted a flight, you got a roller coaster over lava. You would think, after all this, someone, anyone, would read a tooltip. But no. We pull, we wipe, we scream, Res Pla Z in all caps, and then do it again, proudly. You would think that Azeroth is just a massive group project with no leader. Follow for more dangerously low IQ wow moments. Part 2. You would think rogues weren't allergic to fall damage. Stormwind rooftops, human rogue, and dwarf paladin. Rogue, watch this stealth jump. Super pro move. Paladin, you're on a roof. Rogue, yeah, but like stealthily. Paladin, you just broke both ankles. Rogue, it was a tactical descent. Paladin, that was gravity bullying you. Rogue, you would think Shadow Step worked on the ground. You would think mages could conjure a clue. Dalaran, Blood Elf, Mage, and Orc Shaman. Mage, I accidentally polymorphed the banker. Shaman, how do you accidentally turn someone into a sheep? Mage, I misclicked. Shaman, on the banker? Mage, I panicked. Shaman, now I can't withdraw my gold. Mage, you would think spellcasters had impulse control. You would think Death Knights didn't need validation. Ice Crown, DK, and Priest. DK, I was forged in pain, molded by death. Priest, cool story. Wanna run Wailing Caverns? DK, I thirst for vengeance. Priest, you thirst for loot. DK, I bring eternal suffering. Priest, you bring bad vibes and no potions. DK, you would think being undead came with respect. You would think druids could pick a form. Ashenvale, Night Elf, Druid, and Tauren, Druid. Elf, what form you running today? Tauren, Bird Bear Cat Hybrid. Elf, what? Tauren, I call it Fluffnado. Elf, you're stuck in a tree? Tauren, Fluffnado doesn't need your judgment. Elf, you would think shapeshifters had a plan. You would think gnomes wouldn't build that. Ironforge, gnome engineer, and Draenei paladin. Paladin, what is that? Gnome, jet-powered, chicken-mounted rocket bomb. Paladin, why does it cluck? Gnome, intimidation. Paladin, it's smoking. Gnome, that means it's working. Paladin, you would think science had rules. You would think healers deserved thanks. Dungeon, Orc Warrior, and Troll Healer. Warrior, bro, you didn't heal me. Healer, you ran into 12 mobs alone. Warrior, I was testing your limits. Healer, and I found them. Warrior, I believed in you. Healer, I believed in natural consequences. Warrior, you would think prayer beads stop regret. You would think warlocks had healthy relationships. Silver Moon, warlock and his demon. Warlock, kneel minion. Demon, you slept in a summoning circle again. Warlock, I was communing. Demon, you were crying. Warlock, it's part of the ritual. Demon, you're emotionally unstable. Warlock, you would think fell energy cured loneliness. You would think shamans weren't cosplaying weathermen. Nagrand, Orc Shaman, and Troll Warrior. Warrior, why is it hailing? Shaman, I summoned a storm for dramatic flair. Warrior, we're farming carrots. Shaman, every moment is sacred. Warrior, you flooded the fields. Shaman, and the soul. Warrior, you would think Stormcaller meant helpful. You would think hunters had basic commands: down Terrasfowl, undead, hunter, and forsaken guard. Guard, your bear just mauled a diplomat. Hunter, he thought it was a critter. Guard, it was giving a speech. Hunter, bears fear politics. Guard, now the embassy's on fire. Hunter, I respect his boldness. Guard, you would think taming beasts required a license. You would think mailboxes were safe. Orgrimmar, Goblin, and Troll. Goblin. So I enchanted the mailbox. Troll. Why? Goblin. To make it explode with joy. Troll. It literally exploded. Goblin. Marketing issue. Troll. You leveled the auction house. Goblin. You would think explosives had limits. So what did we learn this time, adventurers? Rogues still think fall damage is a myth. This one tried to stealth jump off a roof. He made contact with the sidewalk. Mages polymorphed a banker mid-transaction. Now half the economy's a sheep, and nobody can withdraw their gold. Death Knights won't shut up about suffering. Druids are stuck in fluff tornado form. And some gnome strapped rockets to a chicken and yelled science. Meanwhile, a healer refused to save a warrior who aggroed an entire dungeon. Why? Natural consequences. That's therapy talk, bro. Warlocks are trauma dumping on their demons. Summoning circles are the new group therapy. Shamans are summoning storms to farm carrots because nothing says spiritual balance like hail on your salad. Hunters, they're bare bitter diplomat. That's not a misclick, that's war. And goblins, they enchanted a mailbox to make it explode with joy. Translation: Orgrimmar now has one less auction house. You would think, after years of playing, after guides, builds, and patch notes, we'd be competent. But no, we're just a bunch of loot-hungry lunatics pretending to be heroes while setting things on fire with enchanted poultry. You would think that this is just World of Wreckcraft. Follow for more dangerously dumb adventures. Still here? Okay, but let's be clear. You shouldn't be watching these. This content, it's a chaotic blend of magical incompetence, unlicensed pet ownership, emotionally damaged warlocks, and murlocs with better insults than your guild leader. We've got rogues breaking their knees for style points, mages committing economic terrorism via sheep druids shape-shifting into furniture, and goblins who legally shouldn't be allowed near mail. There's no strategy, no honor, no lessons, just one disaster after another, narrated like a fever dream. Watching these videos may cause spontaneous laughter in public, deep second-hand embarrassment, a mysterious urge to reinstall, wow, and the haunting realization that your main probably has the IQ of a burning totem. Seriously, go do literally anything else. Touch grass, write a quest journal, apologize to your healer, because this is not the content of champions. It's the content of people who click need on grey items and jump off cliffs for fun. But hey, if that sounds like your kind of party, you would think you're exactly where you belong. Don't follow. You've suffered enough. Unless you want more, then hit that button, you chaotic little peon. Wool Classic. Unsubscribe from Sanity, World of Wreckcraft. Thanks for watching this absolute disaster of a video. You laughed, you cried, you questioned your IQ, just like we do every dungeon run. If you made it this far, congratulations, you're officially part of the problem. Hit that follow, drop a comment, and prepare for more magical stupidity next time. Until then, don't pull without the tank. Or do. We need the content. The end.
Yeah, I got the bag.